Medjugorje today, a powerful revelation from the Virgin Mary about the end of 2024 urgent call to prepare. Welcome back to our channel, and may the grace of Christ be with you today. As we approach the end of the year, there is an undeniable sense of urgency in the world. Events are unfolding rapidly, and the signs point to an imminent shift in the world's trajectory, one that calls for deep reflection and preparation. In this video, we will explore a sobering and urgent revelation from the Virgin Mary in Medjugorje, which highlights a critical turning point in history as we approach the end of 2024. Let's dive into the specifics of this message and understand how we can prepare, both spiritually and physically, for the challenges ahead. The changing world. A call to action. Have you noticed how quickly the world is changing? As 2024 draws to a close, we are beginning to see the early signs of major shifts, politically, socially, spiritually, and even ecologically. The Virgin Mary's latest message comes as a wake-up call for all believers. These coming events will be transformative on a global scale, reshaping the world as we know it, and it's no longer a question of if, but when. This message is not meant to fill us with fear, but rather to awaken us to the reality that urgent preparation is needed. The Virgin Mary has warned that a time of profound suffering and crisis will begin as 2024 concludes. It will affect every aspect of life. Political systems will be shaken, social structures will be tested, and spiritual foundations will be challenged. The turmoil will bring forth hardship, but also an unparalleled opportunity for spiritual growth and renewal. Spiritual readiness. The heart of the Virgin Mary's message, central to the Virgin Mary's revelation, is the call for spiritual readiness. She emphasizes that there is little time left to prepare for what is coming, urging believers to act now. This preparation involves not only practical steps, but more importantly, a deepening of our faith and spiritual lives. As families and communities face increasing adversity, it is essential to strengthen our relationships with God and each other. The Virgin Mary has always been a beacon of hope in times of darkness, and her apparitions in Medjugorje have given millions of people guidance and comfort. In her latest message, however, she made it clear that we are now entering a new phase of history, one that will test the very core of our existence. She speaks of a time of purification, where we will have the opportunity to reevaluate our values, our priorities, and our actions. The choice is ours, to turn toward God and embrace a life of compassion, love, and faith, or to be swept away by the challenges ahead. The urgency of prayer, a shield against darkness. Among the most urgent aspects of the Virgin Mary's message is the call to prayer. She has long advocated for the power of prayer to guide and protect us, but now, more than ever, the importance of daily prayer cannot be overstated. The Rosary is a particular focus in this revelation. The Virgin Mary has urged us to make the Rosary our strongest line of defense against the hardships that are coming. Through the Rosary, we draw closer to the divine, receive spiritual strength, and obtain the protection we need to face the darkness that looms. In these turbulent times, it is easy to become overwhelmed by fear and uncertainty. Yet, the Virgin Mary's message reminds us that prayer is the key to overcoming these trials. By committing to daily prayer, especially the Rosary, we invite peace into our hearts, protection over our families, and divine guidance through the storms of life. A call to act now. As the world continues to evolve at an accelerated pace, the Virgin Mary's message is clear. Prepare now, spiritually and physically. We are called to deepen our faith, to grow in unity with our families and communities, and to be ready to face whatever comes with courage and hope. The world will be tested, and so will we. But by strengthening our spiritual defenses through prayer, turning to the sacraments, and living lives marked by compassion, we can weather the storm and emerge stronger in our faith. The role of compassion and love in the coming trials. The Virgin Mary's message isn't just about avoiding disaster. It's about turning adversity into an opportunity for spiritual renewal. During these challenging times, we will be called to support one another, live with compassion, and show the world the true power of Christian love. The changes we face are not merely external. They will require each of us to re-examine our internal attitudes and commitments. Faith in action is more important now than ever. As we face global and personal trials, we must hold on to our love for God and neighbor, responding to the needs of the world around us with selfless love, prayer, and unity. Conclusion. Preparing for a new era of faith. As we near the end of 2024, the Virgin Mary's urgent message is a clarion call for spiritual preparedness and action. We are entering a period of profound change, one that will bring hardship, but also the chance to purify our hearts and turn toward God. In times of crisis, the strength of our prayer life, the depth of our faith, and the solidarity we share with others will be what sees us through. The Virgin Mary's words remind us that we are not alone in this journey. God's grace and the intercession of Mary will guide us, protect us, and give us the strength we need to face the coming challenges. Now is the time to prepare our hearts, minds, and souls. Let us embrace the coming days with confidence, knowing that through prayer, sacraments, and acts of love, we can transform even the darkest trials into a path towards spiritual renewal. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Please don't forget to subscribe and stay updated as we continue to explore these critical spiritual insights. Together, in prayer and unity, we can face the coming changes with unwavering faith and hope. Facing the future with faith and unity. The Virgin Mary's urgent call for preparation and family unity as we stand on the threshold of profound change. The Virgin Mary's messages continue to resonate with urgency and hope. Her call to believers is clear. In the face of escalating challenges, we must confront difficulties with confidence and serenity, rooted in faith and spiritual preparedness. This is a time for believers to hold fast to the values that bind us: love, unity, and faith, particularly within our families. The family, as the cornerstone of society, must remain strong in the coming trials. It is in togetherness that we will find the strength to combat the confusion and division sweeping through the world. The urgency of spiritual renewal. A time for rebirth as the year 2024 draws to a close. The Virgin Mary has forewarned us of a series of events that will deeply shake humanity. These events are not meant to invoke fear, but to call us back to God and to the spiritual truths we have forgotten. As the world becomes increasingly detached from its divine foundation, the consequences of this separation will become painfully evident in the months ahead. But in these trials, there is also an opportunity for spiritual renewal. The message from Medjugorje is not one of hopelessness. Rather, it serves as a divine invitation to reassess our lives, to purify our hearts, and to reclaim our connection to the Creator. The Virgin Mary reminds us that in moments of deep adversity, there lies the potential for transformation. If we are spiritually prepared, we can weather the coming storm with the light of love and compassion guiding us. The warning of natural disasters, a sign of purification in her message, the Virgin Mary highlighted several key signs that we must expect in the near future, all of which point toward a time of purification. Among the most pressing signs are the increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters. These tragedies, fires, floods, earthquakes, and storms, will serve as warnings to humanity. They will be indicators of the disconnection we have created with the natural world and with the divine. These disasters are not mere coincidences. They are part of a divine plan calling us to return to a balanced relationship with the earth and with God. These natural calamities will shake our world in profound ways, but they also carry within them the seed of spiritual awakening. They are an urgent call to repentance and renewal. As these signs unfold, we must remember that they are not punishments but rather opportunities to purify our hearts and our actions. Social and political turmoil. A time for spiritual fortitude in addition to the physical upheaval. The Virgin Mary has warned of an increase in social and political turmoil. The world will experience internal conflicts, widening divides, and growing tensions between nations. The breakdown of unity will leave many feeling isolated and vulnerable. It will be a time when fear, anger, and despair may tempt even the most faithful to lose hope. However, the Virgin Mary reassures us that those who stand firm in their faith and trust in God's protection will find the fortitude needed to persevere. This is a time when our spiritual resilience will be tested, but also a time when we can witness the power of prayer, love, and community to bring us through the darkest moments. A time of grace. The choice between light and darkness despite the challenges that lie ahead. The Virgin Mary emphasizes that this is also a time of grace. It is a moment for rebirth and spiritual growth. This period of difficulty will provide an opportunity for transformation for those who are ready to turn back to God. She calls on us to choose the path of light, even in the face of hardship. Through compassion, love, and charity, we can navigate the coming tribulations and emerge from them with a deeper faith and a renewed commitment to God. As we face these difficulties, we must remember that they are not signs of divine abandonment, but rather calls to return to the source of all grace. For those who remain steadfast in their faith, This time will become one of revelation and spiritual maturity. The Virgin Mary urges us to view these upcoming trials not as obstacles, but as the final opportunity to change our ways, to abandon selfishness and consumerism, and to live according to spiritual principles. The battle for humanity's soul, standing together in faith, the Virgin Mary has made it clear, the coming times are a battle for humanity's soul. The forces of evil, division, and hopelessness will try to break us, but through prayer, unity, and love, we can overcome these forces. The message is not just about spiritual preparation, but also about proactive action to protect our families and communities. We are called to protect not only our spiritual well-being, but also our physical safety. The Virgin Mary emphasizes the need for practical preparation, to have emergency supplies, to know evacuation plans, and to be aware of potential dangers. While spiritual preparedness is essential, we must also be ready to face the challenges that could manifest in the form of natural disasters or social unrest. Faith and action go hand in hand. Conclusion: a call to action and hope as the year comes to a close. We are facing a turning point in human history. The Virgin Mary's message to us is clear. Prepare spiritually, unite your families, hold fast to love and faith, and face the future with courage and trust in God. These times will test us, but they will also present opportunities for spiritual growth and personal transformation. Now is the time to reaffirm our commitment to God and to each other. Let us be a source of light and hope for the world, guiding one another through these turbulent times. Prayer, compassion, and solidarity will lead us through the trials ahead, and when we emerge, we will find ourselves with a deeper, more resilient faith. Thank you for joining me in reflecting on these urgent messages. May the grace of God and the intercession of the Virgin Mary guide you in the days ahead. Let's face the challenges with confidence and serenity, trusting that through our prayers, love, and unity, we will overcome. As we prepare for the uncertainties ahead, it's important to understand that physical preparation is just as crucial as spiritual preparation. Both are ways to demonstrate our responsibility and care for the people around us. We are called to ready our homes, our hearts, and our minds. This is not just about protecting ourselves from material dangers, but about shielding our loved ones from spiritual harm as well. The Virgin Mary has reminded us that family unity is our greatest defense in these turbulent times. By fortifying our family bonds, we create a stronghold of love, prayer, and mutual support that can withstand the challenges of the coming years. The Virgin Mary has specifically urged us to protect and strengthen our families in the months leading up to the end of 2024. Families are the bedrock of society, and they are also the source of resilience and strength in times of crisis. Recognizing this, the forces of darkness will try to divide families, tear apart relationships, and create conflict. But the Virgin Mary reassures us that through unity, love, and prayer, families can become a spiritual fortress that will keep them safe in times of hardship. By holding on to each other, supporting one another with compassion, and coming together in prayer, families can protect themselves from the spiritual and emotional attacks that seek to undermine them. Conversion is key in preparing for the challenges ahead. The Virgin Mary calls on each of us to look within and purify our hearts. This means taking a hard look at our lives, giving up negative habits, seeking reconciliation with those we may have wronged, and striving to live by the example of Christ. As we adopt virtues like humility, forgiveness, and kindness, we spiritually prepare ourselves to face whatever comes our way. It is through spiritual renewal that we align ourselves with the divine plan and gain the strength to navigate the turbulent times ahead. Despite the heavy trials that lie ahead, the Virgin Mary's message is one of hope and optimism. She has assured us that while the coming period will be one of spiritual purification, it will also present a unique opportunity for growth and transformation. Those who are spiritually prepared will be able to face the challenges ahead with faith, grace, and resilience. We are reminded that there is a divine purpose in the events that will unfold, and we are not alone. As long as we walk the path of faith, we will have the strength to conquer any difficulty that arises. The Virgin Mary's presence assures us that we are never abandoned, and that through faith in God, we will emerge from this time of trial stronger, wiser, and more spiritually fulfilled. The Virgin Mary's message urges us to be brave, to remain steadfast in our faith, and to trust in God's divine plan. While the challenges of the coming years may seem overwhelming, we are called to approach them with courage, resilience, and unshakable faith in God's purpose. The end of 2024, may indeed mark a time of purification, but it also offers an extraordinary opportunity for spiritual rebirth. In these coming trials, we have the chance to rediscover what is true, eternal, and meaningful in life, the power of love, compassion, and faith. By heeding the Virgin Mary's call to strengthen our families, deepen our faith, and live with compassion, we not only prepare ourselves for the challenges ahead, but we also contribute to creating a better, more compassionate world. Her message is a reminder that light can be found even in the darkest times, and that light is in our love for one another, in our shared faith, and in the strength of our families. As the end of 2024 approaches, we are called to act now. Practical and spiritual preparedness are not optional. They are necessary for confronting the trials ahead. The Virgin Mary's message is both a warning and an encouragement. We must examine our lives, make amends, and deepen our connection to God. As we prepare spiritually and practically, we are given the strength to face the future with hope, faith, and resilience. No matter what happens, the Virgin Mary assures us that we are never alone and that God's love will see us through. I'm grateful to have you on this journey with me. Your participation in this exploration brings meaning and significance to this conversation. May the stories we share and the wisdom we gather uplift and inspire you as we face the challenges ahead. Stay strong in faith and ready in spirit. Let us embrace this moment of transformation with open hearts, knowing that God's plan is always at work and that we are part of something greater. Until next time, may peace and hope surround you always.